Hello there. Fancy meeting you here.
Hi.
How are you doing there,
We're in
Ritchie?
black and white.
We are
I'm
in
all
black
right.
and white. We are totally in black and white because we're not really here yet.
No. Okay.
Well, what do you think of all these awesome images? I must admit I have seen them a couple of times, but now really having the time to focus on them and look at them, I think, it always fills me with so much happiness to see how many people upload images and all the images that they create. It's really nice.
Yeah, it's amazing what people are doing with not only their cameras, but with film simulation recipes and what they did with Kodak Gold. It's really amazing. Beautiful pictures. I love seeing everybody's pictures. So I hope that those watching saw a picture they submitted in that slideshow, and we'll play it again at the end of the broadcast, I believe, right?
Yes, exactly. We will do so. And then, the video will also be available as a standalone upload.
Yes.
So, because we can't
Yeah,
celebrate what everyone's been submitting enough, I think.
Yeah, exactly. This show is not about us, but about those in the audience,
Yes.
those who are watching and participating and submitting. And so, I think it's wonderful to be able to showcase those pictures. And I'm personally very appreciative of everybody who has submitted something. It takes a step to, like, a leap of faith almost, to submit a picture. So it's really glad. I'm really glad that everybody was able to have the opportunity to do that.
Yes, exactly. And we have someone watching. Koala Fudge is here. Good evening. Hello. Thank you so much for joining us. This was a bit of a last-minute move or change that we had to make because we were actually planning on being on the same link that we are on the main show a little bit earlier. But as this is live, and there's always a surprise waiting for us, Ritchie, isn't there?
Surprise.
So we've scheduled a separate event for this. Going forward, this will be handled differently, I'm sure, but as a first, with the new season, we are testing out new things and checking us out in black and white. And
Yep.
whoever is watching can, say hello and let us know if you're here. If you have a question, throw it at us. We've got a little bit more time than, maybe during the show.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the idea, isn't it?
Yeah, so, let us know if you're watching. I know there's a few of you out there. There'll probably be more that find it as the time goes on, as we get closer to the actual show. But let us know who you are, where you're watching from, and shoot us anything you want, any question, any comment, any statement, anything you want us to talk about. Let us know, and it's just an informal chat between myself and Nathalie and you guys. So we got Warren from New Jersey tuning in, so that
Hi,
is
Warren.
awesome. Hello. And just give us a comment of what you want us to talk about. We could talk about film simulation recipes. We could talk about cameras. We could talk about flags. I said it.
Are you sure you want to talk about flags, Ritchie? You're a brave man.
Of course, those who tuned in last season know what we're talking about. For everybody else, it's kind of an inside joke, but
yes, I think we're better at taking pictures than we are at flags. But maybe, who knows? The year's young, so there's still hope that maybe this will go for a better sometime later. So we've got a serious countdown counting us down here, which is nice for us to keep time for once. Time being
we can't do 2+ hour episodes Yeah, Rebecca DuPont. So watching
Yes.
from Germany. That's your home country, Natalie.
Yes, it is. Yes, it's family. It's my daughter.
Hmm. Oh,
Hey,
okay.
Becky. Thank you for tuning in. It's fabulous
Awesome.
to have you here. You
It's a
should
family
update your
event.
thumbnail picture there, Becky, though. She's about, I don't know, 7 years old or something in that photograph. Yeah, nice. I don't think she uses YouTube all that much.
Mm.
Nice.
I'm still working on my first cup of
And
coffee.
yes. Adam is here from Amsterdam. Hello, Adam. So nice of you to
Awesome.
join us. If you have a comment or a question, please shoot it at us, and we will, you know, have a time. We've got time to chat. We have exactly 15 minutes and 32 seconds.
Yeah,
That's
let
nice.
us know what you think of us in black and white. If you do you like to shoot black and white versus
Mm.
color? That's a good question. You can comment and let us know if what do you mainly shoot in? Is it
Mm.
predominantly one or the other? That'd be interesting to know.
Yes, exactly. Absolutely. Okay, well, sorry, we clearly have to change that. Um, Dad clearly doesn't know that you are now an adult, so we will change this. That's funny. um, okay, there's a real question. Pro mist
Oh yeah, I like
filters.
this question. I
Ooh.
have both. I have ProMist and Cinebloom, and they're similar, but they're different. And they both give that halation effect that kind of comes naturally in some films, and they soften the highlights. They basically what they do is they scatter some of the light that comes through, and so it mostly affects highlights. You do see a little bit of softening of the shadows, but it's not nearly as pronounced as the highlights. What I find is that the Cinebloom filters tend to reduce the overall contrast of the image more than the ProMist filters, but the ProMist filters tend to have like a slight color cast that it gives to the pictures. So I personally prefer the Cinebloom just because it doesn't put that color cast on the images, and I think subtlety is what you're going for. So like the 1/8 ProMist filter or the 5% Cinebloom, which are very subtle effect, are better than the stronger, like I would like 20% Cinebloom in my opinion. Everybody's different, but in my opinion that's just way too much. Or like the 1/2 ProMist is just way too much in my opinion. Everybody's different, everybody has their own taste, but that's what I think. And what situations, night photography, or anywhere where there's like a bright light source, like a window or or street lamps or something like that, where you don't want the light to be just so harsh. It kind of diffuses it just a little bit. I
Oh,
hope that answers the question.
I'm so glad that Warren that you answered asked this, because I don't have any filters, but I'm seriously looking at getting myself one, because I find that very fascinating to
Hmm.
play around with. So I haven't told my husband yet, but let's hope he's not watching. Oh, there's Caroline from Israel. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in.
Hello.
It's wonderful to have you here. Thank you so much for submitting these awesome images of yours. Well done
Yes,
with
thank you
it.
so much. Yeah.
That's
I
brilliant.
hope you got to see them. I hope you were tuning in when that slideshow played and you got to see them. But if not, we're going to play it again at the end of the show, and it'll be a standalone video shortly thereafter the show. It's going to be a lot quicker to get that video out than before last season, where
Yes.
it may have been weeks or even months later before it actually
Yes.
was published. So it'll be a lot quicker.
It will be a lot quicker, definitely.
Hmm.
We have turned a lot of things upside down and trying to streamline stuff. So that'll be good. And there's Adam. He got an XE1.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so XE1, that's the camera that I got into Fujifilm on. That was my first Fujifilm camera. And I've actually had two of them in the past. Unfortunately, I hadn't figured out when I had the first one. I didn't know film simulation recipes. I hadn't created any. I was still shooting raw. I have some pictures on the wall, on my bedroom wall, of the Grand Tetons. In fact, if you look in the upper right corner of the screen where you see the Fuji X Weekly, you see the big X, and then inside of that X is the Grand Tetons. That picture was captured on a Fujifilm XE1. That's the famous Ansel Adams overlook. There. Anyway, I have an X Pro 1. All this to say, I have an X Pro 1. And I haven't used it a whole lot because Fujifilm sent me for a few weeks at the beginning of this year a X Pro 3 to try out. And so I only had it for a short time, but I tried to use it as much as I could during that time. And then I had to send it back. But in that case behind me, you see behind me there in that case, in there is an X Pro 1, and I do plan to make more X-Trans 1 film simulation recipes using that camera. So I went all the way around. I circled around a couple times, and then I answered the question.
That's nice. That's what the pre-show is here all about. It's for us to go around in circles as much as we want to. Because we're in black and white and informal. Oh, hello, Paul. Oh, you're teasing us now.
yeah, exactly. But it's because I said it. It's because I said the flags.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask the guys to switch off your sound if you carry on like this. Getting us into trouble. Oh, that's funny. There was something I wanted to say was that you had to send the X Pro 3 back. I'm very sorry to hear.
Yeah, they didn't give it to me to keep, but it was nice to use.
Yes.
For a few weeks and put it through its paces. It's definitely a fun camera, and I enjoyed using it.
It's very neat.
I saw something really interesting on Fuji Rumors, where they posted something from photons to photons. I don't know if you saw this at all or not.
Not yet. No.
They did a photons to photons did a I guess they test the sensors. They get all into like the really technical kind of stuff, but the stuff that I don't really necessarily care for because I'm more into the practical use of things, right? Like what does it mean for me in my everyday photography or everyday life or whatever, not what does it mean on a piece of paper, kind of thing. But in their testing, they determined that the X Pro 3 has more dynamic range than the XT4.
Okay.
Which I don't know if there's other cameras that also, if it's just the X Pro 3, or if it's, but it's really weird to me because it's the same sensor and the same processor, and it has the same aesthetic. So why would it have extra dynamic range? But apparently it does, and I didn't notice it in my pictures at all. Like I didn't look at my pictures and go like, wow, this has got so much more dynamic range. I was. After I read it, I was going back through the pictures and looking at some of mine and be like, "Is there any? Is it trying to see?" But I didn't see any.
Yeah,
but,
it's sometimes so.
But it's kind of interesting.
It's nice to have these numbers as a comparison on a piece of paper, but in practical terms. And I don't shoot on an XT4, so I don't know. I'm happy with the images that I get from the X Pro 3. So now I can.
So if any of you have an X Pro 3. And an XT4, which seems like strange that somebody would have both, but maybe somebody does. Does it actually have more, dynamic range? And I would be interesting to know. But anyways.
It's Paul. Hello, Paul.
Yeah.
How are you doing? I think he's tuning in from Switzerland. I know that he is actually in Mauritius, and he's teasing us about the flags because he's the one who's been teasing us every episode after the episode. But I think he was traveling to Switzerland. I'm not sure if he's tuning in from Switzerland. If so, I'm very honored to see that you make time to join us here as well, and that your trip's going well. And if you're back home, then I hope the trip was successful.
Yep.
Whatever you were doing. He's always doing something. He's always traveling somewhere. He's living the life, I tell you.
Okay.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh.
Oh, that's a great question. I was oops, and I probably just put a big tone out on everybody, but I am not that close to that. I'm inching towards 250. I'm inching toward 250 on Fujifilm. If you include the Ricoh recipes for the GR cameras, if you include those, it is approaching 300. So.
Sure.
So yeah, I guess if you're talking about just Fujifilm, it's getting closer to 250. If you're including the Ricoh, then yeah, 300 is on the horizon, which is crazy to think about. It actually is.
It is, especially because it wasn't that long ago that you reached 200. Or does it just feel like it's not that long ago and it's much longer ago? I don't know.
Yeah, it was. I don't know, maybe. Well, not including the Ricoh. I think it was maybe 6 months ago or so ish.
Okay,
6 months
so
ago
it is
that
quite.
passed the 200 mark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Time flies.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
As Kermit the
Sorry,
Frog would
your
say,
audio is going
time's
a little
fun when
bit.
you're having flies.
Yeah, your audio is going a
the audio is-
little bit funky once in a while. I don't know if that's maybe just the connection. So when there's a dip in the connection,
be.
that the audio is going funny. But we can hear you now.
It could be.
Yeah.
My internet has been on the fritz the last couple days,
Okay.
so it could be that.
Yeah.
It's been kind of slow and weak.
Yeah. Well, just
not sure
now
why.
you're perfectly fine again. But it does sound a bit robotic, almost like there's just a bit of a drop. But you're back.
Okay.
Oh, time for trivia.
Oh, it's trivia time.
Okay, so we thought of something new, and I found this really cool trivia game on Rocky Nook for anyone who's interested. And yeah, so I thought we play a bit of question and answers. So this is for the audience and for us, but we're going to ask a question. And then you can all think about it and let us know if you know the answer. You don't need to ask Google because it's not, you can't win anything, all right? It's just, testing trivia, which is a lot of the times you feel really good when you know it, but the world doesn't change if you don't know it. But it's all photography related. So I think it's quite interesting and fun. So I'm choosing one. I have no idea what's on the back. And there are 3 questions. And I'm going to ask Ritchie to give me a color between red, black, and green. And then I'm going to ask the question. Ritchie?
Okay. So how about green?
Red, black, or green? Sorry?
Green, let's go.
Green. Let's go green, and let's be quick. We have not a lot of time. According to IBIS World, what was the size of the US photography market in 2020?
Ooh, that's a tough question. I bet somebody out there knows the answer to this.
Okay, if you know the answer to the question, then shoot it in the comments. According to IBIS World, what was the size of the US photography market in 2020?
Is it in dollars or is it in? Do you see the answer or?
I need to. I have no idea what the answer is. I will not be able to find out. And since we don't have a lot of time, I'm going to have a look and see. It is in dollars.
Dollars. Okay.
In dollars.
I'm gonna say. 500 million. going to say 500 million. That maybe that's too high. I don't know. But that's what I'm going to say.
It's not the answer.
Okay.
So sorry, I need a buzzer like me. Sorry. If anybody else out there wants to have a guess, please shoot it in the comments. We are looking for the answer of the question that is, according to IBIS World, what was the size of the US photography market in 2020? And the answer must be a sum in US dollars. If you have no idea, just chuck a number at us.
Throw something out
and
there.
We will see. Don't choose a 500 million because that is what Ritchie chose. And it is
And it was wrong.
not the right answer. You have a gazillion different numbers available to you to guess. And you have about 30 seconds to do so. So maybe we will not find the answer to this question in the audience today. But it is a good dry run. Thank you for having lots of fun with us. We are going to have to say goodbye just now because we will see you on the other side in the show, in the proper live stream. And I assume since this counter is counting us down to 10, I think I will quickly give you the answer. The answer is 9.8 billion. And with that,
Oh, I was way off.
we are out. We'll see.
Bye.
Check you just now, Ritchie. Thanks to everyone for watching, and see you on the flip side.
Bye.
Bye now.